And we are recording. As long as my laptop decides not to join us tonight, we should be able to record just fine. Hey, team, it is, I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Thursday, obviously. It's the 29th of October for those that are listening onto YouTube. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's the end of the month. We got some celebrating to do. We had four. I'm not sure about the fourth, but I'm almost positive we had 4 rank ups today. Lindsay, didn't Grady rank up?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure. All right. So we had 4 rank ups today. So Grady Sessions, which is Lindsay Sessions' hubby, ranked up to Emerald today. Brandy, Leslie, and Jessica. So we had 4 rank ups today. Way to go, ladies. Super proud of you. And gentlemen. Super proud of you, gents. So way to go. Top 5 coaches of the week were, and I'm just reading from my fancy picture that I finally made for you guys. Top 5 were Emily, Stephanie, Lindsay Sessions, Allie, and Leslie Jonas. So great job, guys. Finally got the leaderboard up on the team page. Do me a favor, just head on over there after the call and give a shout out to the team. I love it when you guys are commenting and congratulating everybody. I'm not going to announce everybody that has hit Success Club because it's on the board, but let's help push those that are so close. Emily, Allie, Melissa, Stephanie, Jennifer, Jessica, and Melissa all need one more CP. That means one more person they need to help, and they will have achieved Success Club. If you are not so close, but you still want to get it, guess what? There's plenty of time. I always say it's not over until the end of the month, and it's not the end of the month yet. You have until Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, even though it is Halloween, you can still nag those people. A lot of people have been asking what the November specials are. We will not know until October. October 31st. So Diamond Coaches find out that night, and one of us always posted it in the team page right away. So we will let you guys know when we know. Make sure you are signed up for the Fall Classic. What is everybody's pictures are so wonky tonight? I wonder if it's my internet. Make sure you sign up for the Fall Classic. A lot of you are going to be like, I hit Success Club next month. Like, you're going to be in November, be like, I hit Success Club. What's the prize? And be like, are you on a team? And you're going to be like, no. And be like, well, you get no prizes. So make sure you're on a Fall Classic team. There is a thread somewhere in the team page. If you can't find it, post and say, hey, I need a team. Coaches, if your coaches are not on a team, I know you guys are taking care of it. So make sure you guys are on a team. The other announcement is we are starting a new type of sneak peek. The last ones are not working, so we're going to switch it up. I did not invite you to the event unless you posted on my thread saying, invite me to the event. So if you need invited, let me know, and I will not add you till the actual group until you tell me you need added. So if you need in, let me know. We are losing people left and right on this call. Womp womp. All right, guys. So I was trying to figure out what to talk about. And I decided we're going to talk about leadership. And I know some of you are going to be like, this has nothing to do with me as a coach. Why are we talking about leadership? But it does. If you have one coach underneath you, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but guess what? You're a leader. I know it's super scary to think about it, but it's true. If you have one coach, I don't even care if that coach is your husband, you are a leader. So I am doing a training. His name is Josh Coates. He's a part of the John Maxwell team. And I decided that I needed to do some leadership training. So I am doing a 4-week leadership training with this guy. He's amazing. I'm hoping he offers more training because it's just been completely like mind-blowing. Like, why didn't I do this when I signed up to become a coach 3 years ago? So I decided instead of keeping all the good info for me, I was going to share it with you guys. So we're going to do it over the next 4 weeks. So tonight we're going to talk about what a leader is and what a leader isn't. Next week we will talk about how to motivate people, which we all know we need to do. And then I'm not sure about the next 2 weeks are because I haven't done those leadership trainings with him. So we're going to do this for the next 4 weeks. So I hope you guys will join me. I hope you guys will stick around, and I hope you guys will keep coming to the team calls because it's info that you need to know. Whether you have coaches underneath you now or you don't, you need to know it for the future. So I hope you have your notebooks handy. If you have any questions during this, put them in the chat bar and then we'll come back to them. So I'm literally just going to go over the notes that I took from the call, and then we can talk about the end of the call. So the first thing that he talked about is personal development versus leadership development. And we always talk about how we need to do personal development. We need to do personal development like it's every single day. But there's a big difference between the two. So for like my diamond coaches that are listening, like we need to be doing leadership development, not personal development. Like books like You're a Badass and Girl Boss, like that doesn't do anything to help us as a leader. Those are books that for newer coaches and coaches that need a little boost should be reading. So what is the difference? Personal development inspires and motivates you to reach your goals, whereas leadership development is the art of drawing out of others where they want to go. So if you guys were with us when we did the 21 Irrefutable Laws book club, that is a leadership development type book because you are growing your leadership skills. You are learning how to become a better leader. And those are the books that we need to be reading more often instead of these like fluffy books that don't necessarily always help us where we need to go. Personal development has an inward change the same way your workouts do. But you want to be working on that outward change. You want to be able to help your coaches grow. A couple keynotes that I took, and then we'll go into what leadership is and what leadership isn't. Remember that nobody should be keeping up with you because you're the leader. I hear so often people are like, well, I'm okay hitting Success Club 5 because my coaches are hitting Success Club 5. Or it's okay. I'm not going to use the BAT because my coaches aren't going to use the BAT. Or I invited one this week because that's what my coaches are doing. I say it often. The leader needs to be the speed of the pack. You need to be going 10 times faster than the rest of your team, because if your team is keeping up with you, then you're not being the leader that they need them to be. I hear so often from some of you guys notice when I've like hit a rut and you're like, Ashley, what's going on? Like, we know you've hit a rut. The whole team can tell you're hitting a rut. What are you doing? So it's like, crap, I am a leader of a team. I need to make sure I'm on my A game. And yes, we're human and we can make these mistakes and we can have our off days, but we got to make sure that the leader is staying ahead of the pack. It is your job as a leader to figure out where they want to go and help them get where they want to go. It's not your job to tell them what to do. That is not what we are That's not what leaders do. That's what bosses do. And we're not bosses. No one signed up for another boss. People signed up so they could make their own life happen, so they could make their own dreams happen, so they could make their own future. People that do that, they don't want bosses. And it's also not our job to beat our coaches up, get frustrated if they don't hit a goal. We have to encourage them. So a great statistic that he gave, which I really liked, was 80% of the people don't want to work the business. And that is okay. So think about it. If you have 4 coaches underneath you, probably one of those coaches is going to work the business. And so what happens so often is we're like, why don't they want to work the business? Why aren't they trying harder? Chances are they probably told you they were going to be a discount coach when they signed up to become a coach. They probably didn't even want to become a coach. We're like, no, really, the discount's worth it. Just do it. So we can't get upset with them when they're not working the business because they told us they weren't going to work the business. So when you're coaches, when you have that 80% of coaches that aren't working the business, you need to treat them like challengers. They need to be in your challenge groups. You need to be checking in on them with their fitness goals. You need to make sure that they're doing their programs and they're drinking your Shakeology. So you're not going to be checking in to see if they've hit Success Club. You're not going to be checking in to see if they've invited. You're not going to be checking in to see how many coaches they've added to the team this week. You're going to be checking in like you would any other challenger. You're going to be like, hey, I didn't see you weigh in my challenge group this week. What's going on? Are you still doing your program? Like, let's chat. That's how you need to treat those 80% of coaches that aren't working the business. And you never know what's going to happen with those coaches. They may decide later on to work the business, but you have to treat them like a challenger and let them know that you're there for them. There's nothing worse than when a coach signs up on a team and then you just disappear. Like, that's not fair to them at all. Like, you still need to be there for them. So let's talk about what a leader isn't. And I've got, for people that like bullet points, I've got 3 things. So a leader is not a corner office. So what do I mean by this? Meaning a leader is not somebody who should not be hard to get a hold of. So for example, most of you know if you need to get a hold of me, I'm pretty much always accessible unless there's like an off chance that I'm like dying in bed or something. A leader needs to be accessible. I'm leading over my notes to make sure I am telling you guys exactly what he said. So yeah, you have to make sure accessible. Like a corner office, they always have their doors shut. They're like, nope, not right now. Come back later. A leader needs to have their doors open and be like, I'm available. Let's hop on the phone. Tell me what you need. You're going to be there for them. And now I know some of you are like, Ashley, I have a life. I don't want to be glued to my phone 24/7. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is getting on the phone. doing Zoom calls, doing FaceTimes, setting weekly appointments with your coaches. You need to be accessible as a leader. The second thing is, a leader is not somebody who has a charismatic personality. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there who are loud and boisterous, and they're leaders, and that's awesome. But I think people think that in order to be a leader, you have to be this loud, charismatic, outgoing, driving person. Do you know that most Beachbody coaches are huge introverts? And you know why? Because we're behind a computer all day. I used to be super outgoing. I worked in retail. Like, I could talk to anybody. And now I'm like, please don't make me come out of my shell. Like, oh, there's a knock on the door. Crap. Like, I'm not that outgoing person anymore. But that doesn't mean I'm a horrible leader or that I can't be a leader. And you don't have to be an awesome speaker to be a leader. Like, I know sometimes people are like, I can't be a leader. Like, I don't want to sign up coaches. I can't run team calls. You can. Leadership is learned. You have to work your butt off to become a good one. That means training, like I'm doing right now. Leadership training, reading books by John Maxwell. He is like the guru of becoming a better leader. So leadership is not something that somebody is naturally good at. And I mean, there are coaches out there that are natural leaders, but a lot of people have to learn how to become a leader. And then the last one that a leader is not is the master of answers. No matter how much knowledge you know, it does not necessarily mean you are a good leader. You're going to learn as you go. I can't remember who I was talking to the other day, and they're like, Ashley, like, how do you know this stuff? I've been doing this for 3 years. I know the FAQ like the back of my hand. And I know that somebody's going inactive. I know, nope, active status guarantee, they're good to go. Like, it's because I've gone through this stuff. I've learned as I've gone. A leader is somebody who's always asking questions, is always moving forward, and is always learning as they go. So don't think you have to know everything about this business in order to become a successful coach or in order to become an amazing leader, because you don't have to, because there are things that I still don't know. My husband does joke sometimes, though, that there's probably like a note on my Beachbody account when I call into coach relations that says, don't try to screw with this girl. She actually does know what she's talking about. Like, he laughs about it all the time. I had to help a coach out the other day that was going inactive, and they're like, oh, well, it may be an active status guarantee. And I was like, no. It's FAQ, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, you know your stuff. I do. Thank you. So I was just trying to make you laugh. Just go with it. So let's talk about what a leader is. I have 3 points. You guys ready for the boom sauce? And let me tell you, and I'm going to give you guys some, before I get into that. So when he was going over these 3 things, I was like, man, I have been doing it wrong. And that takes a lot for somebody to admit they have not been a good leader. Like, going through these 3 points, I was like, oh man, like, where was this 3 years ago? So let's talk about number 1, what a leader is. 1, a leader is a servant. Your number 1 responsibility as a leader is helping take care of your coaches and helping take care of the team and even those below you. You are a servant. Now, that doesn't mean that you're at their beck and call 24/7. You have to have boundaries or you're going to get burnout very quickly. But they're a servant. Being famous doesn't make you a leader. It doesn't. Like, there are coaches in the business that everybody knows their names. People must not like my talk because they're all leaving me, but that's okay. Because I have you guys. Just because you're the top coach doesn't mean you're a leader. Just because somebody knows your name doesn't mean you're a leader. You have to genuinely care about helping other people get to where they want to go. And if you don't care about that, you're going to fail. You have to care about other people. And I think everybody on this team does, because I feel like all of the coaches know that if you don't care about people, don't bother becoming a Beachbody coach, because we are not those companies that are going to shove programs down your throat. That's not us. We care about helping people. Number 2, a leader seeks others. Does this sound familiar? I feel like we've talked about this before. I think it was last week we talked about it. If you're not a leader, you're a follower. So what does that mean? Leaders reach out to people. Leaders do not just sit on the sidelines waiting for the next person to ask them to become a coach, does not wait for the next person to be like, hey, I want to buy a challenge pack. Leaders are going out and they're seeking people. They're seeking people to help. Maybe we didn't talk about this. Maybe I thought we talked about this, but it's because of my notes. No, we did talk about this. We talked about this last week. But you have to reach out to people that are struggling. We need to reach out to them. We need to be there for them. And number 3, and this was like my aha moment, and I was like, holy crap. Leaders ask questions. They ask lots of questions and more questions. So let me give you an example. So I'm going to pick on Stephanie because I know she doesn't mind me picking on her. So say Stephanie was just posting up a stock photo, and I could have told Stephanie 20 times, quit posting a stock photo. She'd be like, okay, I'm not going to post any more stock photos. And the next week I'm like, oh, there goes Stephanie posting another stock photo. And again, I say, hey, quit posting stock photos. Like, that's not the way to do it. Okay, I won't do it again. Instead of saying, hey, quit doing that, message your coach. And I could be like, hey, Stephanie, how did that last post work out for you? Did you get a lot of feedback? Stephanie's probably going to go like, no, I didn't really get a lot of feedback from anybody. So I'm going to say, why don't you think you got any feedback? Like, do you think like it was the picture, the wording? Like, what do you think about it was? Well, and I'm going to pretend Stephanie has like the right answer. She's like, well, I probably shouldn't use that stock photo because it's not showing me. And be like, I've been telling you this for 20 weeks. And now she gets it. People are more likely to admit to what's not working when we ask questions. By asking our coaches questions instead of telling them what's wrong, they'll see what they need to change. So somebody keeps saying, I'm going to hit diamond, I'm going to hit diamond. Instead of me coming and be like, all right, you got 3 more weeks to hit diamond. Like, let's do this. I'm going to come to them and be like, hey, your goal's diamond in 3 weeks. Do you think this is going to happen? Like, are you ready to hit this goal? They're going to either tell me like, yep, Ashley, I've got everything lined up. Or they're going to be like, no, I don't think I'm going to hit this goal. So I'm going to be like, well, why don't you think you're going to hit this goal? Like, what's going on? What can I help you with? As leaders, we have to ask questions because when we're asking questions, it shows that we genuinely care about them and we are not shoving our answers and our words into them daily. We have to ask questions. And it's like asking questions like, what can I do to help you keep you motivated? Like I said, when we ask questions, it shows that we care about them. And if you want others to trust you, you have to show them that you care. It's just like if we are talking to our challengers and we're running a challenge group, we have to show them that we care or they're not going to trust us. I'm going over the last of my notes and then we can talk about some things. I'm just looking over my notes. Sorry, I was not prepared for this call. It's been like complete chaos in my house lately. So I'll go over the last 5 notes that I took and then we'll open it up to any questions and I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment. So these are some of the key points that he told me about. He said, leaders are naturally drawn to leaders like them. So think of those qualities that you want in other people. As some of your team, they probably have those same qualities because they're drawn to you. They're drawn to your post because you're being real, you're being authentic, you're being you. And if you want to attract leaders, you need to become a stronger leader. That means you need to work on yourself. You need to do leadership trainings. You need to do leadership webinars. You need to read leadership books. If you want more people drawn to you, you need to become a better leader. All right, that's all the points I have. So I'm going to give you guys some homework and I'm going to open it up. And I know for you guys, you're probably like, Ashley, why was this such a big deal to you? And I think it's different because I'm actually doing the training. So I get to talk to this guy for an hour and a half once a week. So I really get to hear what he's saying. But this was the homework that he gave me. And I'm going to give you guys the same homework. You're going to post it in the team page. I think I only saw 3 of you actually do your friend list that I gave you guys last week. So hopefully we can get a little bit more feedback from this one. But the first thing is I want you guys to buy the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And I know a lot of you have it. So if you have it, you're already one step ahead of us. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to make a list of qualities you want to attract from other people. And then I want you to circle any of those qualities that you don't possess. And then you're going to write up a game plan on what you're going to do to work on those qualities. So I'll give you guys an example. So this was my homework and I did my homework. And 3 of the things that I wanted in my coaches were that I don't possess is self and confidence in self, optimistic, and proof of the product. Those are 3 qualities that I always want in my coaches. So what I said is in working on being optimistic and being confident in myself, I'm going to make sure I'm on point with my personal development, that I'm constantly doing it, and that I'm surrounding myself with positive people. Those negative people that are in my news feeds, gone, because it doesn't add any value to my life. It just brings me down. And then the second thing was being proof of the product, starting a program, finishing it A to Z, which I'm doing right now, and showing people that I believe in these products. So that is your homework. You're going to buy that book. You can get it on Audible, you can get it from the library, I don't care where you get it from. And then you're going to do the qualities, and you're going to make a game plan for the things that you do not have in those qualities, like that you need to work on. Does anybody have any questions about I'm going to unmute everybody. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I went over? I thought I unmuted everybody. I muted everybody. There we go. And if you have a noisy background, go ahead and put yourself on mute, and then you can just unmute yourself later. Nichelle, did you have a question?
Can you repeat the name of the book and what our homework is? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, absolutely. So the name of the book is The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. I'll post it in the team page too.
Okay.
And then I want you to make a list of qualities that you want in your coaches. So do you want somebody that's driven? Do you want somebody that's confident? Somebody that's a go-getter? And then out of all the qualities that you list, I want you to asterisk which ones you don't possess. And then you're going to make a game plan on how you're going to work on making those qualities happen within yourself. Sound good? Yeah. All right. You guys are quiet. No one has any questions? No one? Nada? Zilch? Do I need to come up with more exciting team calls? I'm going to start doing icebreakers. We're going to start dancing, karaokeing in the beginning. I'm going to make you chug some Energize. Like, what do I got to do, guys? Come on. Don't make me pull it out of you.
Well, I have something personal I need to work on but it's not really related to leadership. It's something else. It's closing the deal. I keep getting interests. I have a couple potential customers, but it's just sealing the deal. It's getting them to realize, like, yeah, this would be worth the investment. I know it's an expense. So I need to either go back and read some stuff on that, or I don't know.
What kind of wording are you using, Katrina? Like in your messages to them? Like what are like key words that you use?
Keywords. I mean, I definitely say investment,
Okay. Because I was going to ask, because I was talking to Jessica and Leslie both on the phone yesterday, and some things that I've quit changing, like I've started doing in my messages to people, as I make sure it's about them. And obviously it's about them, but I ask them, like, what do you want? What are your health and fitness goals? Like, what do you want out of this? And usually I'm going to hear a price objection. I'm like, and I always do the I felt. I'm always like, I completely understand. I felt the same exact way, but let me tell you, you won't reach your goals until you invest in yourself. You can borrow anybody's program. You can do it on YouTube, but until you actually spend your hard-earned money on a program, you're not going to finish it because you're not investing in yourself. You just got to make sure, and if you're using those invest words, that's great, but what I would do is I would go back and reread your messages. You can send them to me, or you can send them to Emily and be like, what do you see is wrong with this? Like, what do you think I need to work on? Because we may see something that you don't see.
Right. Actually, the last three have actually been in person.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't send me those conversations.
Yeah. And, yeah, I like that. I mean,
I would just say as a suggestion, I know for me, when I started, I kind of like felt, especially in person, like I just kind of gave like, factual information, and like that's never how I would like talk to my friend. Like when I like tell my best friend like you need to do the 21-day fix, I'm not like, okay, it's going to be like 21 days, you do these workouts, like this is the meal plan. I'm like, I need to talk to people like the way I would tell you about a restaurant. I wouldn't be like, this restaurant is a 5-star restaurant, the executive chef is this, like the decor is nice. Like I would be like, dude, you got to go there, the ravioli's the bomb, like it's super casual, love the decor. Like that's how I would talk to someone. So you got to be like, you know what, like you're gonna totally love it. And like what Ashley said, talking to people about their goals, like if you can like bring it full circle for them, like, like I know you said that you wanted to be able to keep up with your kids. Like when you are doing this, you're gonna have so much more energy. I know that sounds like counterintuitive, but once you work out, you're gonna be like, okay, I feel better. I'm less like, fuzzy headed. I'm like more in it. So if you just talk to people the way that you would like your best friend or your mom, for me, I've seen more success that way.
I completely agree with Lindsay, like 100% wholeheartedly. And I think it's so hard for us sometimes where we're just like, you get this many programs and you get this many DVDs and they're this long because that's what we're used to. But then we're just trying to sell them on a DVD, but we're not, I don't want to use the word selling, but we're not sharing what it's done for us, like how it's changed our lives or our challengers' lives. And that's what we have to do. I thank you for saying that, Lindsay.
I also will say that just in the past, like 2 weeks, once in person and once someone that like I met on Instagram, like have been talking to her for a few months, and she actually signed up for It Works, like, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago. And so she like messaged me or like said yes to my event or something. And then like immediately was like, well, I'm like looking for a new job and like I don't have any money to spare right now, like maybe later. And I was like, listen, like, if you really don't have the money, like, I totally understand. Actually, I think I said, like, if you really don't have the money, like, and, like, you need a refund, like, I will personally help you get that. But every aspect of your life is going to be better when you do this. So if you really don't have $140, like, I get it. I've been there. But if you're just saying, I don't have the money, like, you're going to call me 15 pounds from now when you could have avoided that in the beginning. And so I just kind of got like real with her, but
That's what I'm scared to do, I think, is getting real
me too.
and not watering it down.
Like almost a year, and it was literally the second time I've ever done it. Like getting real with people. Like I even posted in the team page the other day, like someone was talking about like breastfeeding and everything. Like I can't tell you how many breastfeeding moms have been like, well, I can't diet, and I never would be like, I'm not telling you to eat 1,000 calories a day. I'm telling you to like feed your baby with healthy food. Like I'm not asking you to lose 20 pounds here. So I've never said that. But I think if you like say that to people, like, I mean, in a kind of respectful way, like I feel like they'll, you know, can't really argue with that.
No, and it's hard. It's hard to be real with people. I think I've done it like once in the last couple months, and she's actually a coach on the team now. And she's like, that's a lot of money. And I knew her and I was like, girl, you just spent X, X, and Y in my Etsy sticker shop. Jessica, you know what I'm talking about. I see just the side eyes. I'm like, but you just spent X, Y, and Z on stickers. If you can spend that much on stickers, you can afford to spend this on yourself because those stickers are not going to get you what the 21-day fix and Shakeology is going to get you. Just saying. She's like, oh yeah, you're kind of real. I'm like, yeah, like I love my stickers. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to put my health and fitness over my stickers. Sometimes you got to be real, but read your people. Like, okay, are they going to get offended if I'm like this? I mean, some people may, some people not. But if you have like pictures of the convos you've been having, Katrina, shoot them over to Emily or myself, and let's take a look at them and see what we can work on, or if anything needs to be changed, or maybe nothing does, and you just have people that are just like really wishy-washy.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it gets a little insecure because two of the people that I've talked to in person or over the phone, they're extremely overweight, like extremely overweight. And I'm wondering if maybe they're looking at me like, how can you even relate to me, Katrina? Because you're like skin and bones. Like you've never been where I'm. So I that might just totally be in my head, but I think I get a little uncomfortable, and that's why I'm afraid to be real with them and be like, no, your life is going to change, because they're going to look at me like, you skinny bitch, what are you saying? You know.
But maybe you should just tell them that.
But do you have other customers that you've kind of helped? I mean, maybe not lose 100 pounds, but like 20, 30 pounds. You can always talk about them. Or
not
like
that
maybe
much.
maybe not even your customers, but like any Beachbody story, like these products like work.
Yeah. Why don't you just, if that's what bothers you, why don't you just say that like early in the conversation? Like maybe you're thinking I can't relate to you because I've never had that much weight to lose, but I belong to this entire community and this is what we specialize in. And if you just get that part out there, then you just get over your, it's super hard to like have those conversations in person though. I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Just make a joke about you being skinny and
And you know what? I mean, honestly, like people would be like, okay, like she's cool. Like she understands, like she's not going to try to like buttercoat it. Sugarcoat it. Thank you.
That's something I would say.
Thanks. Got my
I
words.
mean,
mixed
I've
up.
told people that because I've pretty much been the same size my entire life, and I'll just tell them, like, I don't know what it's like to lose this much weight, but I'm, like, super good at, like, motivating you.
Yeah.
And then they won't second guess me. So,
Anybody else have anything or any questions? Really energized. That's it. Next week we're doing energized shots before the team call. Except I have to do mine. Hi. Except next week I'll do mine at 7:00 in the morning because I can't sleep if I do energized. It like hates me. I don't understand.
yeah, I'm going to need a better leadership book. Something a little more exciting.
I know. Let me talk to my guy and let me see what he suggests.
Yeah. John Maxwell's not going to do it for me.
Let me see what he suggests. Let me see what he says. I mean, you guys, Stephanie even knows for me, and even Session knows, like, it takes a lot for me to admit when something I'm doing is not working, when something I'm doing doesn't feel right. Like, I think for anybody, it takes a lot for us to admit, like, that we need to work on ourselves. And this training has been absolutely mind-blowing. And even in the 2 weeks that I've been doing it, I've seen such a huge shift in the team. And maybe I'm by myself and nobody else has seen this shift too, but the team page is a lot more active. People are more chatty. Like, it's not just me talking every single day. And there seems to just be this like mind shift with the team. And again, maybe it's just me and I'm just seeing things and it's all in my head. But it's amazing what you do when you do new training and you're working on yourself. Because at the end of the day, we always have to be working on ourselves, not just workouts and Shakeology. Like, we have to be growing. And for those coaches that want to make this like a full-time thing, like, this is what we do. We grow as coaches and we grow as leaders and we work on ourselves. So I don't know where I was really going with that. That it? Nothing? God, you guys, seriously, you're killing me. All right. Do we like the leadership? Do you guys want me to keep going on with the next 3 weeks? No, yes, maybe so. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it. Talking to Stephanie because it says Ashley Odenwiller next.
Not going to buttercoat it for you.
You don't just like the topics, not like you don't like it, or
I mean, it's fine.
you're holding back. I can tell you're holding back.
I mean, it's not going to be an exciting, I don't know, you want us to like jump up and down over it? No, but it's stuff we need to hear, yeah.
I can't think of it. I asked you guys for topics for team calls, and no one gives me anything. We have 195 people on the team page, and I get one comment, like Instagram. I need topics if you guys want me to talk.
Are you recording this?
I am recording this.